So, and I remember driving from Savannah up to Atlanta, calling my buddy who did ride Harleys up north and saying, "Hey, bro, on a Harley, is it when you shift, is it one down and then four?" He was like, "Dude, what are you getting yourself into, man?" And so I get there, and there was two informants and the ATF undercover guy, and the informants were big biker dudes, and they give me this chopper, right? It was a hardtail, raked out chopper, and bro, I didn't know anything, let alone how to start this thing. So right off the bat, they're like, "Hey, follow us. We're going to the clubhouse." This is my first day. So it was nighttime. It was kind of misting. It's North Georgia mountains, and they take off, and all I'm seeing is taillights. I'm trying to keep up, and I go into a turn. I dump the bike.
Oh fuck!
I slide about 50 yards into a ditch, and I'm all road. Cut up and all that. And
Have you ever dropped a bike before?
no, I'd only ridden a bike for a couple months.
Holy shit!
So by the time they figured out I wasn't behind them and they came back, the big informant who never liked me, he looks at me and he looks at the undercover guy and he says, "You want us to take this motherfucker into the Outlaws clubhouse? He can't even ride a fucking motorcycle."
Oh, wow.
So when I heard that, I was like, you know what? Nah. I picked my shit up and I bent the mirrors back and, they helped me get the bike out of the ditch. And I said, "Let's go." So at least I won their respect.
Yeah.
Even though all I wanted to do was go home.
Yeah, of course.
So anyway, we get to this clubhouse, and I don't know if you've ever been in a one percenter clubhouse, but they're very intimidating.
Yep.
Right? I had never seen anything like it. And again, I knew nothing about
Can
it.
you explain why they're intimidating?
So you got a bunch of big, scary-looking dudes who are bad guys. The place is dirty. It's dark. There's just a general feeling of evil about it. That's how it was for me. Just I felt like, man, bad things have definitely happened in this place, and are probably going to happen again.
Yeah.
So when we went in there, and I had no coaching or training or anything, I stood there against the wall, okay, for about 45 minutes. I didn't say a word. I just stood there. And I watched these guys, and I watched how they carried themselves and how they interacted. And I could tell right away who the president was by the way they were talking to him, and acting with him. So after about 45 minutes, I walked up to the president, and I introduced myself, and I called him sir. I said, "Sir," I said, "I don't know anything about your culture, and I don't know anything about your rules, and I certainly don't want to offend you or anyone else. I just want to learn. I want to become one of you someday. And I want you to teach me. I want to learn." So I kind of appealed to his ego.
Yeah, sure.
And he saw this big gorilla that he could mold.
Yeah.
And he loved that. And I became his favorite guy. He took
Wow.
me under his wing, which made that informant hate me even more.
How about the
after
other
that.
agent?